Minecraft Snapshot 23w13a is here. After the huge amount of features from last week's snapshot, this one is full of bug fixes. My name is Sliced_Lime, let me guide you through everything that has changed. Let's start with mob fixes. Mobs riding other mobs can now control those mobs once again and move in the right directions. Sniffers no longer drop moss when killed, and their walking animations now work when they walk on ice or through cobwebs. The particles produced by a sniffer digging are now on the right height. And baby sniffers now have slightly larger heads, just like other baby mobs. Camels no longer get permanently stuck in dash mode when they ride something and dash, and the dash animation now always shows up for other players. Camels no longer swim while sitting down. Let's also look at some block and item fixes. The pitcher plants are now properly counted as flowers, and pitcher pods are now properly crops, which for instance means that they interact the right way with bees. You can no longer replace a pitcher plant by placing a block inside it, and it no longer floats in place if you break the farmland it's planted on. Using bone meal on a pitcher pod now advances the growth by only one single state, and using bone meal on the upper part of the flower no longer leaves the bottom half unchanged. Sniffer eggs can no longer be destroyed by flowing fluids. In gameplay news, editing a sign placed on a wall from a sharp angle now edits the right side of the sign, and you can now edit a hanging sign even if you're holding a block that can be placed. Using a brush no longer works on the block behind an entity. Some advancement fixes as well. You no longer get the glow and behold advancement when interacting with a waxed sign using glow ink. Planting pitcher pods now grants a CD place, and breeding sniffers now properly counts towards 2x2. In visual news, the player's grip on the brush is now in the appropriate location, and the particles spawned by using a brush now move the right way even when the brush is held in the left hand. In user interface news, the pink petals are now next to other flowers in the creative inventory. The Razor and Wayfinder smithing templates have been adjusted so the patterns are at the same place as for other smithing templates. And there's a new function in the video settings screen. You can now change the UI scale by holding Ctrl and using the scroll wheel. In sound news, the menu music is now properly stopped when starting to play, and the saddle equipping sound now only plays once when equipping a saddle onto a camel. Horses now make the right step sounds when walking on netherwood, bamboo wood, or stems. In technical news, potted torch flowers are now in the flower pots block tag, and the unused block state for torch flower crops of H2 has been removed. Signs now once again resolve text components when placed by commands, and calibrated skulk sensors are no longer waterlogged by default when placed by commands. If you use a command to place a decorated pot on your head, it now displays centered. And some sniffer fixes. If you use the ride command to ride a sniffer, the height offset of the rider is now in the correct place, and the movement speed attribute now works for sniffers. In resource pack news, the sniffer egg now has a separate texture per level of hatching instead of one texture with all of them, and the inner model of the potted azalea bush now uses the right texture. And finally, in performance and stability news, a crash has been fixed related to suspicious sand, and sniffer egg bottom faces are now cold when invisible. And that's all for Minecraft 23w13a. My name is Sliced_Lime, thank you for watching, I'll see you next time.